Guys, can you see me? Hey, hi. It's been a while since I crafted it's been a week. It's been a stressful and very tiring week at work and I haven't had the time to craft. So I thought why not do a small video today since, I pick up all this, a lot of different techniques from various people. So what I have in front of me is papers which I baked, and I tea dyed them and coffee dyed them before I baked them. Uh, this is not my idea. In fact, you can find a lot of videos out there, but that's one that I watched from Martha, Marry Small Art. You can YouTube her or you can Google, even she's on Instagram, but check out her YouTube videos because she did a very detailed process on how to tea dye the papers. For me, I used both. I love coffee because I've done that before. Yep, like I was saying, I tea dyed coffee before, but the technique was different. I didn't bake them, I just painted them. I'll show you how you guys it looks like. Okay, these are a bunch of papers I used, and every single one of them are upcycled paper. They are from wedding cards. Some of the, not exactly the wedding card, but the inlets you have for your wedding cards, or the envelopes, the cardboard backings when you buy your some of your products and all that. But be careful if you're using cardboard backings or some of the upcycled cards. I'm going to show you. This is a memory lane card. I can't remember what card was it. Okay, yeah, it was something has to do with Diwali. So this one here is a pure paper bag. So even if you soak them it has, can you guys see? It's tinted. It's not so much because I didn't soak it for a very long time, and I don't know why my camera is not picking up the yellowish colors, but if you notice all this in real it's very very yellow, but on my camera it looks white. I don't know. I have no idea why. So this is like 3 times darker on real life. Like if you notice here, it looks this is okay. This looks really like very old and all that. So this is a paper bag, but some of these cards, if you notice, right, it started crumpling inside. The reason why the back of this card, in fact I peeled it off. If you see, it's a bit shiny, right? They are paper, but it's coated with very thin plastic. So to our eyes, it looks like paper, but it's actually plastic coated. So if you have those shiny material on top, try not to use them for this process, or you can alternatively you can actually peel them off and then soak, and you'll get just paper. Then you won't have this kind of things. I actually peeled it off after I baked them, so that's the reason why it has it started bubbling up inside. So I'm going to show you a few. I'm not going to go through the whole entire stack. I just want to show you the different things. Like this is like a this was, I don't know, this was laid on top or something else. That's the reason why. But if you notice, right, it looks very here because there was another piece of paper here, so it kind of gave the hue. But at the back it looks like a parchment. It's actually darker, more yellowish. Let me see whether I can it's a bit more yellowish, but in camera it's not capturing. So if you see the edges and all that, so I don't have to do aging for this. It already has the natural edges. Some of these I'm very impatient, so what happened, I ended up tearing my envelopes. So if you notice, this was really dark. These are scraps of cards that I used before. Okay. These are wedding inlets. You see all this nice stuff. And no, I didn't write on it because I started layering them, and it was ink, and the paper started absorbing the ink from the other sheet. So naturally it looks like I stamped them. Right? And the thing that I really liked most on this whole entire project is how it stained the envelope. So if you notice, look here, I'm going to pull them. See, it's very yellowish. I don't know whether you can see the difference in color. That's the reason why I had, okay, it's white. Okay, now you can see the difference, right? So yeah, it's stained. It's very much stained. And because I baked them, it started having the very aged look. Some of them are really nice. Don't worry, I'm going to tear them anyway after that. Okay. They are very thin, but you know, for some of our projects, if you just want to like, you can treat them like how you're using, you know, the like when you use tissue or kitchen towel or those rice paper and all that, it feels almost like that, but slightly thicker. Yeah, I thought this paper, I purposely did this so that, you know, I have all these nice stains on it. I got a lot actually. I stained one big stack. The entire process took me 2 hours because I kept a very close eye, and it was baking, and as it was drying in the oven, I started removing them one by one, layer by layer, so that I don't burn the papers. This was like a different piece. If you notice, this is actually a medical, it's a gauze, it's like a, it looks almost like vellum. It's not plastic, so when I stained them, it actually had a very nice color on it. These are wedding inlets. Of course, it had some nice design, but I purposely, you know, used it to see whether it will look nice. Those I don't like. Most likely what I'll do is I'll stain them again. This was very nice. This was a very old piece of paper. I mean, it's not that old, it was actually very white, but when I started staining them, if you notice, like, you know, all the dots and all that, it looks like something from the ancient world. Yes, I have a lot. Some of them were really baked crisp. It looks like as though your brownie got burnt. Yeah, this is the back. The back looks nice, but if you look at the front, it's really brown. This is the brownie that I burnt, and this is the cake I burnt. Because the colors looks like it. And this was actually at the most bottom portion of the pan. So what happened is it started sticking, and you know, this is the burnt. This is actually the burnt effect from the heat from the pan. And now what I did was very simple. I don't have the tea in here, but you know, the bits and pieces are still there. Okay, so what I did was I started, you know, you pour your tea little, then you start layering your papers like this, then you pour your tea again, or coffee or whatever you want to use, and you start layer, and you stack them, then you pour. You need to make sure that it soaks, at least leave it about 5, 10, 15, I actually left it for 10 minutes. I let it soak, and then I oven bake them 250 degrees. I oven baked them for 30 minutes, then I added another 10 minutes, and I didn't like it, so I repeated the process again. I poured the tea, and some of it I poured the coffee, and I repeated the process. So that's how I got this burnt look. The difference between baking them and painting them is, if you guys remember, I did my journal the other time. So this was the coffee piece. If you look at it, this is 100% coffee. Let me see whether you guys can see it. Yeah, this is 100% coffee. So what I did was, I started, you know, the coffee was, I poured the coffee on the paper, then I used a kitchen towel, wiped it, then blow dry it, pour the coffee, wipe, blow dry, pour the coffee, wipe, blow dry. So that's why it's dark and light at some colors. I didn't, it's not hand drawn or whatever, it's 100% coffee. The difference between hand drawing, this is hand drawn, I mean, this is coffee, but what I did was I used my black pen, you know, I just drew some outlines to give it a bit more like, supposed to be Westeros, but I don't know, it became some other map from some, I don't know, a parallel world or something like that. But that's the difference between oven baking them and painting them with coffee. Okay, oven bake, hand painted. All right, so whether you're using tea or coffee, it's perfect. You can try it. You don't have to use this much a stack of papers. You can try it on 6 or 7 papers, but make sure you watch the oven. If you're using just like 4 or 5 pieces, you can even let them air dry. That would be good. And or if you want oven dry them, you still can do it, bake them, but leave it for about 5-10 minutes, not longer, because your paper might get burnt. keep an eye on the oven. Don't forget your baking papers, and papers are depending on the thickness of the paper. If it's very thin, it gets the water evaporates faster, and you know what happens after that, right? So you don't want a disaster in your kitchen. So make sure that you keep an eye when you're baking the papers. Alright, I don't have much for today. This is the only thing I wanted to show you. No, I have no idea at the moment how I want to use them on my project. So my next video, hopefully I have some idea and I can show you guys how I use this for my projects. Most likely I might be doing some ATCs or tags or something like that, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so guys, thank you for your time and have a great day. Okay, till next time, bye.